Hey guys, Tony Denaro here. Welcome back to the channel. I know a lot of you are excited that AMC paid off $72.5 million of corporate debt. I was blasted with questions all day today. Tony, what does this mean? Can we get a dividend now? Is this going to affect the earnings per share in the upcoming quarterly call on August 4th? Let's get right into the details about how this affects you as an AMC stockholder. Okay, to start off the conversation, let's talk about a couple of highlights from this article. AMC announced that in the previous quarter, Q2 2022, the one that just ended at the end of June, the one that we're going to talk about with Adam Aaron on August 4th, 2022. During that quarter, they repurchased $72.5 million of the corporate debt for the second lien that was due 2026. We'll get into that in just a second. The good news is they got a 31% discount on that repayment. So they only paid $50 million, but they got $72.5 million of debt wiped off the books. And at a high level, what does this mean to the company? $7.25 million of interest charges per year that they will no longer have to pay. And, you know, if you can save $7 million in a year, that's not a bad thing. People are wondering, is this debt reduction going to have any impact on the earnings per share in the upcoming call? Let's talk about that for 1 second. At a very high level, when we're looking at earnings per share, we start off with the revenue at the top. We subtract all the expenses, and interest expense is one of the line items underneath operating expenses. AMC has about $400 million a year in annual interest expense. This shows the quarterly right here from last quarter of $82 million in interest expense for the first quarter. So if we're looking at $400 million a year in interest expense on the income statement and we're removing $7 million per year and then dividing that by 4 quarters, no, that is not going to have a meaningful impact on the upcoming earnings per share number. The most common question I received today is, can AMC pay a dividend now? Please, Tony, tell us that this was the only thing holding us back. Unfortunately, the second lien due 2026 is a total balance of $1.5 billion on this one note. So paying down $72.5 million is not quite going to cut it on getting this paid off. And this lien does have a dividend restriction covenant on it, so we have a ways to go before AMC can ever think about paying a dividend. I finally read up on the restructuring of debt they did a couple months ago. Remember, they took a bunch of loans, got a lower interest rate, and repackaged them due in 2029. That loan also, unfortunately, has a dividend restriction covenant on it. So we're going to need to take care of that one as well. There's a long time to go before AMC is going to be able to pay any sort of dividend. Net, this is a great first step in starting to pay down some of that tremendous corporate debt that AMC has. The biggest bearish argument that anyone could ever make about AMC is the $10 billion of debt that it has. And whenever you're paying off debt and reducing interest expense, these do translate into improvements on the financial statements, even if they're very small. And they also do make small improvements to things that CPAs look at, like the current ratio and the quick ratio, which are ways to measure the liquidity of a company. You're going to hear a lot of hype about this. I want you to have the facts and understand exactly what this means to AMC and to you as an investor. Hopefully this presentation was helpful to you. If it was, hit the like button. Don't forget to buy and hold that subscribe button. My name is Tony Denaro. I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.
But I am here.